please, if you're an investor, please make sure that you're not just going straight into options, that you're investing into your long-term portfolio. Because when you know that the market is rigged to go up, the wealthiest people in the world are not, I don't see traders. I don't see that the wealthiest people in the world are traders. Matter of fact, the wealthiest people in the world are investors. So when we think about trading, I see very little traders that are actually rich, right? So, but I do see many investors that are incredibly wealthy. So when I think about investing, I first want to make sure that I have a long-term portfolio set up. But let me tell you, when it comes to options trading, baby, I'm not letting that go. That's my side hustle. My main hustle is, okay, I got my job where that draws in money and I invest it into my long-term portfolio. But I put a little bit of money in so I can play, with the options. Because if you think about it, a lot of people go out, and I was one of these people, right? I have a very entrepreneurial spirit. You can ask my husband. But a lot of people will go and say, oh, I want to learn how to invest, and I'm going to be a real estate agent one week. And then the next week they're like, that didn't work. I built me a little bodega. I was cooking. I was making some empanadas, and I had people buying my empanadas, and I was starting to see whether it was worth it or not to me to be making these damn empanadas that people, all my effort for a little bit of money. And, you learn through every little experience that you go through. A lot of people are ashamed of those experiences, but each of those experiences taught you something valuable that you take on to the next hustle, that you can even be better. I don't think that I would be able to be the trader that I am today if it hadn't been for all of those little pieces in between that helped me to kind of know myself, what kind of person I was, what are my challenges, did I procrastinate, was I inconsistent in things? Those things have helped me to be a more disciplined trader, a more disciplined entrepreneur. But the point of that is that as investors, when you think about all of these different side hustles that you could potentially do, that you have to go out there and do, I look at the market like that. I look at the market where it's like, wow, I have a plethora of companies, right, in front of me that are maybe offering me an opportunity. And if I can learn the skill set of reading the market and identifying when there's an opportunity in the market, I don't have to go all these different places, start all these different businesses. I can learn to invest into a company. I can purchase a contract for a company that I believe is going to return me an investment because I've done the analysis. I've been able to organize the data. I understand what the data is telling me. I understand if the data is telling me that there's an opportunity here, and then I identify the opportunity. But after I've identified the opportunity, I do what major companies do is they actually hire people to understand their risk so that they can mitigate their risk. So as options traders, you're on your own. You're your own company. So once you